Welcome to Monday's Inspiration. Oh, yes, there. Okay, I see I'm live now on Facebook. Okay, we are live. Hello there, with a huge time lag. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. Anyway, so good morning. So today I would like to talk about, do you welcome your enthusiasm or do you leave it to the dog? Like, have you noticed how your dog is always enthused about pretty much everything? Enthusiastic about seeing you, and even if you just were gone for 10 minutes or so, the dog will always greet you enthusiastically. What happened to our enthusiasm? How was it received in the world? How was it received in your family, by your surrounding, whoever it is? What happened? What happened with enthusiasm in the world? I'm not talking about the frenzy, right? Frantic joy, whatever. I don't even call that joy, but the enthusiasm of living. What do you do with it when it shows up? Do you suppress it maybe, or do you really go with it? Do you go with it? Do you go for it? Do you follow it? Really, let's ponder this. Let's dive into it. Let's go for it. The enthusiasm for living. And when, like the last moment that you had it, like for me right now, I can really tell it's in my stomach, it's in my solar plexus, it's in my, in my gut. And this is what I'm talking about, the enthusiasm for living, which nature shows us. The animals show us that space. And, they are not like rolling around on the grass all day, being like under this, like, I don't know, like a very strange thing and version of enthusiasm, which is not what I'm talking about. Enthusiasm for living is like when you eat life, like chocolate. And have you ever had this? It is a very, have you left that actually behind you in your childhood, right? And have you had it in your childhood? And then what happened? Did somebody say to you, don't be silly? Which is what occurs quite a bit. Oh, don't be silly. Don't giggle too much. You are too loud. Like, you have to be quiet. The neighbors can hear you. Yeah, they can hear your joy of living. And why is that a bad thing, right? So what happened with this enthusiasm? And can we tap into this? Can we have more of it? This little squirrel creature that showed up in our lives quite some time ago, and it had like fallen out of the nest, and so here it was in a like fuzzy glove, handed to us, like, here, take care, here's my glove, I protected it, now you keep going, right? So there was this little baby squirrel, and it had just lost everything. It had lost mommy and daddy and the siblings and the nest. Sort of, it was homeless, right? And so it was like with these tall, strange beings that pretty much look like trees. And it actually started walking up and down our bodies, like we became its trees. And so why am I sharing this? Because that little creature, although it had lost everything and it was in a strange place, out of, like, we took it into an indoor space, into a cage, so we could nurture it and take care of it and then readapt it to the outside. And that little creature had never lost this gusto for living. It's this enthusiasm. It's like, yeah, let's keep moving, you know. Okay, you are different. You don't look like my squirrel mommy, but okay, I'm going to explore this, this you. And so it did. And we had silent and very quiet conversations, just eye to eye. And it contributed to me in a way that I cannot even put into words. And I contributed to it by giving it images of trees, you know, like, hey, here's where your clan is living, high up in trees and running up and down. And so that enthusiasm of living is actually a space that we can choose no matter what. The enthusiasm of living is actually a great space, and it can be very quiet. That little squirrel baby did not chatter, and I did not chatter. We were being quiet with each other and just like being present and receiving from each other and gifting. It's this caring, the nurturing, and taking care. And that little creature gave me gifts that are immeasurable. So what can we receive from the earth and from nature about the enthusiasm of living? And that is actually, I want to say, it is almost like it's an energy source. It is actually a source field. And you might find when you kindle that, like a little flame, you kindle it. Okay, how do we kindle something? How do we engage with anything? By asking questions. Engaging with nature, engaging with the animals and the plants, engaging with our gardens is with questions. Wow, what can I choose that will grow this and bring it to a full bloom? And then what else? Even if it is in full bloom, does it stop there? Does a flower stop when it is in full bloom? You know, it might wrinkle up and then eventually, you know, go to seed. Yet there's the seed, so the flower never really stops. Why would we stop? Where have we all stopped creating when we gave up the enthusiasm for living? It is like, you know, how do we tap into that? Have you ever had this thing where something showed up in your life? Somebody said something, you heard something, and there was this, like I always say, your ears are popping up like a kitty or, you know, a deer or any animal when they actually stop and they listen up, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Where have you had that in your life? That listening up. What was that? What did you do with it? Did you just keep going, or did it spark your curiosity? Wow, I'm curious about this. What is this? That's new. I've never done this. What is this? I've never went there. I've never, what is there? Yet if you have that spark in you, that spark is this enthusiasm. What did you actually learn to do with it? We all have like learned quote unquote behavior from others. We have been entrained and allowed ourselves to go into this, like almost like the slip road of this reality where, oh no, I cannot go there. That's too much. I don't have the time. It's like, I can't, blah, 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 blah. These are all stories. From now on, what could you choose? And so if you ever followed that, meaning you went there, or you chose that which was sparking that woo, that flame, that spark, that thing in you. And where is that? See, I'm pointing right now to my solar plexus. This is how it shows up for me. It's in my belly, it's in my stomach, it's in my solar plexus. It's like woo, it gets warm. Now what is our body showing us? What are our bodies showing us when it's getting warm in there? And like, is there maybe a nurturing element? Could it be that this enthusiasm, that this spark, when we pay attention to it, could it actually be a nurturing element in our lives that can also carry us and float us like a good float on a deep river, float us across the not across, around, across, maybe also across the rocks, right? Like in a float, you can also, if the water is high enough, you can go beyond, above the rocks and not even touch them. So what if that space and that energy is a nurturing energy? It's also where sort of we are being taken care of by something so amazing and beautiful that is our being also, and everything else. Our infinite being is everything. It includes us and it includes the earth, and it includes the entire universe. Now, some of you might think that I'm crazy. Yes. I'm a dreamer. Yes. And you know what? I'm not the only one. So this is actually what I'm inviting you to. And the naysayers, and it's okay if that is like way beyond what you think is actually real and true for you, then don't choose it. Don't go there. Whatever works for you, choose that, and it will create for you. Don't give it up. Wherever there is the spark, the joy, will you please not give that up for anybody and anything, but choose it just for you. What did we all learn to do with enthusiasm? You're way too much. Oh, this is too intense. I'm getting overwhelmed, which is all not true. It's not true. You will not get overwhelmed. You will just be exploding a little bit with joy and enthusiasm. And then when you follow that, you will be carried to possibilities that you had no idea existed for you. And see, now I'm lifting up off my chair here. It's like that, it is true. And I had this so much in my life, you know, and it's true. It is real. It is real. It is real. And we all can have it. Yet we have to choose it. You can only have what you choose, what you are willing to choose. Are you willing to have and choose enthusiasm for living, where nothing can actually stop you? That is this element of enthusiasm. Nothing can stop you. You will be burning through the sky, 200 degrees. What song is this? The winner will win something. Are you willing to be unstoppable? No matter how dire it looks. And I know things seem to be dire right now, and it is also, how can I say? It is challenging in so many ways. Yet I would like to invite you to look into, we acknowledge, of course, what's going on in some part of this vast reality. There is an element, there is a box where there is a lot going on in that box right now, and it's challenging for everyone who is playing only in that box. Then I'm asking you, what else is there? What else is there? And where do you even get in touch with that? I would say go out in nature and find out, ask questions. What has changed for the earth? What is different here? I see so many more people out in nature on walks, families out there together, and they all look happy. So really, what is there that you can receive from the trees, from the ground, from the mosses, the leaves, wherever you are, from the sand on the beach, from the waters, from the sky, the air? What is there to receive? What enthusiasm of living can you receive from nature, from the earth, and all earth beings, so that you don't have to give the job of enthusiasm to the dog only, so you can have it too, and be happy and cheerful about the things that show up in your life, and be courageous and filled with possibilities, even in the moments when things show up in a very different way and we all get challenged. So, what if you have everything you require to master the challenges? What if you came here for this moment and create what you came here to create? What is that? Keep creating, never give up. Join, you can sign up for the Monday Morning Inspiration. I'm not always live on Facebook. I just did this today because it popped. And otherwise, I usually do them on Zoom and post the videos on my YouTube channel. Sign up for my YouTube channel and love it, engage, share, invite friends. Really, who else is willing to hear these words and messages and take them to create with and be who you all actually truly are? You, the being. What did you come here to create? I see you soon. Bye.